Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I've been kind of playing around with this frame. It's kind of tricky. I'm doing a floating frame, so I prefer to frame my artwork myself. Number one, it is far less expensive than custom framing. And number two, I can do it exactly how I want it. This piece, made a little while ago, this is a paint skin mounted to a thick wood panel. So this, oh God, sorry y'all, that's Jules, she's being naughty. So anyways, I had basically a sheet of dry paint from a previous painting that I did, and I mounted it to this panel and then coated it with epoxy, which is why it's nice and shiny. And I really want to frame it because I think I'm going to keep this one for myself. And generally speaking, a floating frame is going to be your best bet for displaying your artwork. So the trick is you have to get all your sides even, because if you just kind of freehand it, then it's, you know what I mean? It's got to have the right amount of space on all four edges. So I've been playing around with it this morning. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So Trekell Art Supplies, which does these wood floating frames, just a really nice natural finish. They have these spacers, and what I have actually found out is the spacers are too tight for the artwork, and I can't even fit my artwork in there. So I had to switch to something else. I'm using paper towel. And if any of you guys are watching or commenting, I apologize because I've got my phone on a tripod, so I can't comment or anything like that. If you guys have questions, I will definitely answer them later. So we've got two holes, top and bottom. It's going to screw in the back, and that's how our piece is going to float. So we want to make sure we have our art in the direction we want it facing. I want this to be my bottom, this to be my top. So I've got it vertical with those two screws. And we're going to go in with our paper towel, create our spacing, so we've got it even on all four sides. And one thing I think I'm actually going to get is like that pressurized air canister like you can use on your keyboard to go back and dust this and get all in the corners, because that way you can get any particles off of your art in your frame without touching it. And that's the idea. So these are pretty tight, so you got to go around in a circle. Once I've got these in there, I'm going to flip it, and then we're going to screw it into the back. And you can kind of shimmy it back and forth so you can get it all the way to the bottom. One more side. You should be good. I might post this on YouTube too, because these frames are popular. And I imagine that other artists and framers have had the same issue of these spacers just not working. They're too big. If you go in at the wrong angle, you can dent the frame. This wood is very soft. You can scratch your artwork. I don't think they're the best way to go about it, to be honest. So once I've got all four pieces of my folded paper towel, you can even kind of fold them in just a little bit, because when we flip it, what I want is for the piece to rest on the paper towel and not on the countertop. So we're gonna try it. Hopefully it works. This is my third attempt you guys are seeing, so fingers crossed. All right, so I think that's all four sides down. Only thing I'm worried about is if that piece slips and falls forward. These screws are really shallow, so it might not catch it. I'm gonna do one other thing. I'm going to put a microfiber towel underneath. This is probably the only thing I really trust to touch my artwork, is a really good microfiber. It's basically what you would clean your car with. So still good, still got everything in place. Do microfiber first, push it in, flip it, same thing. Tuck your paper towel under best you can, and that microfiber is going to give it a really nice cushion. I can even like push down a little bit. You want some resistance for when you screw in the back. So that's the wrong way. All right, 2 screws, super simple. Everything's pre-drilled, so you don't need to actually go in and drill any holes. It's already there for you. And it just barely grabs that panel with that screw. Doesn't even go in that deep because you don't want to splinter the wood. You just want just enough to hold it in place. Go kind of slow until that screw's flush. And one thing you can also do, if you're an artist and you sell your work, you can sign the back of these, which I like. I'm gonna probably take that sticker off. I don't want that on there. Okay, so fingers crossed, if it worked. Paper towels out. And, woo, oh my goodness. I was worried that wasn't gonna work. So we're gonna do the flip test. If we flip it over and it falls out, it didn't work. Yes. So there's our finished piece. I can definitely make you something like this if you like it. I'm keeping this one for myself because I love it. And that is assembling a floating frame. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good weekend.